Hare Krishna. We will speak today from the Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 6, first canto, chapter 6, text 38. This is the last verse of this chapter, and we will hear about Narada Muni. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Narum Cheva Naruttamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jyamudiyayat. Nastavi Sabatrasya Nityam Bhagavata Sevya Bhagavata Uttamastake Bhakti Bhavatina Naistake. We will read first Sanskrit. Aho Devakshirtanyo Hayam Yat Kirtim Sankatam Vanam Gayan Madhyan Idam Tantra Ramayat Yaturam Jagat Aho Devakshirtanyo Yam Yat Kirtim Sankatam Vanam Gayan Madhyam Idam Tantra Ramayat Yaturam Jagat Ado Devakshirtanyo Yam Yat Kirtim Shankatam Vana Gayan Madhyam Idam Tantra Ramayat Yaturam Jagat. All glory and success to Srila Narada Muni, because he glorifies the activities of the personality of Godhead, and by doing he himself takes pleasure and also enlivens all the distressed souls of the universe. And we read first the synonyms, the word for word translation also. Aho, all the glory to the Varshihe, the sage of the gods. Danya, all success. Ayamyat, one who. Kirtim, glories. Sanghadham Vanaha, of the personality of Godhead. Gayan, singing. Madhyan, taking pleasure in. Idam, this. Tantra, by means of the instrument. Ramayati, enlivens. Aturam, distressed. Jagat, world. Translation. All glory and success of Srila Narada Muni, because he glorifies the activities of the personality of Godhead, and so doing he himself takes pleasure and also enlivens all the distressed souls of the universe. Purport. Vaisi Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki. Sri Narada Muni plays on his instrument to glorify the transcendental activities of the Lord and to give relief to all miserable living entities of the universe. No one is happy here within the universe, and what is felt as happiness is Maya's illusion. The illusory energy of the Lord is so strong that even the Hoch who lives on filthy stool feels happy. No one can be truly happy within the material world. Srila Narada Muni, in order to enlighten the miserable inhabitants, wanders everywhere. His mission is to get them back home, back to Godhead. That is the mission of all genuine devotees of the Lord, following the footsteps of that great sage. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purpose of the first canto 6th chapter of the Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled Conversation between Narada and Vyas. Read the verse again. Aho devakshir panyoyam yat kirtim sankatam vana gayan matyam idam tancha ramayat yaturam jagat. All glory and success to Srila Narada Muni, because he glorifies the activities of the personality of Godhead. And so doing, he himself takes pleasure and also enlivens all the distressed souls of the universe. Om Jnana Timandasya Chilanjana Shanaka Chakshur Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Chichitayamanopistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swamrupakadamyam Dadati Svapanantikam Vandeham Shiru Shiyuda Padkamam Shirum Vaishnavamsha Shirupam Jagajatam Saganaragnatam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savdutam Paritam Saitam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sagalita Shivishakam Vitamsha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jatpate Gopesha Kapka Kantara and Kanta Namastati Tapta Kansana Gaura Gira Devi Navanashvi Vishabhana Siddha Devi Panamama Haripriye Vancha Kalpta Visha Kripa Sinve Visha Patnam Pavanabhyo Vaishnavyo Namo Nama Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasad Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Vistaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Namani Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pacharani Nirvishesha Srimavada Paskachaya Desatarani Srila Prabhupada Ki. So Narada Muni takes pleasure and enlivens all the distressed souls of the universe. In the Bhagavatam, we hear of the many preaching activities of Narada Muni. Narada Muni, he even converted a sinful hunter that his disciples are described in the Bhagavatam, that they are, we hear about Dhruva Maharaj, who went back to Godhead. Then we heard about Prahlad Maharaj, the example of a pure devotee, that we heard also about his preaching against the Prachetas. In Chaitanya Charitamrita it's mentioned how Narada Muni was praying to Brihari, the hunter, that so he was he's an expert preacher, Narada Muni. And Sutta Goswami is here glorifying Narada Muni, who was special in many ways. Also, Narada Muni is part of our Guru Sampradaya, our Sampradaya. Our Guru Parampara comes from Brahma. From Brahma comes to Narada. Narada gave it to Vyas. Vyas gave it later to Madhvacharya. And so it came down to Ishvarapuri. Yeah, Madhavendra Puri, Ishvarapuri, Lord Chaitanya, and so on, to Srila Prabhupada. that I found some inspiration from Sridhar Swami, who comments on this verse and said that it means Sridhar Swami, disciple of Srila Prabhupada, who left us many years ago already. That so he writes. He said, yeah, I heard a lecture where Srila Prabhupada was speaking to people in Tehran. But he used to say the same thing many times. There is no institution like ISKCON anywhere in the world. Just seeing our daily practice, our practice to purify our lives. Every morning and now every evening, we should discuss the philosophy of Krishna consciousness. No one else, no other religion is there where they come together 7 days out of 7 to understand the purpose of human life. So he meant here we have every morning Bhagavatam class, and we are supposed to have every morning Bhagavad Gita class. But we should understand what is required to become free from the body concept of life. And of course, in Bhagavad Gita, we have Krishna was explaining to Arjuna, that is, I think, 27. Ichadvesa samudhena vantamoina bharata sarva bhutani samam sarhe yanti parantapa. O sign of Bharat, O conqueror of the four, all the events are born into illusion, bewildered by the dualities of desire and hate. So we come to this world, and we are covered by illusion. And the change which keeps the soul covered in illusion, what is that change? Material desires. Yeah, from these material desires comes this itcha, passion, that desire and hate of attachment and aversion. So, yes, these are the chains that keep us in this material world, these material desires. And these desires are practically unlimited. You cannot satisfy material desires. Yes, when you think you have satisfied, you have satisfied one desire, then so many other desires pop up. And in that way, yes, it's going on. So it is without end, displaying on our limits. Therefore, we have to take one body after another. And what happened? What happens? Bhagavad Gita 5:22. Ye sanspasya bhuga dukkha yonaya evate. Because of our contact with the senses, we meet different kinds of suffering. But we want to live a life free from suffering. And we deserve it because we are spirit souls. There is no suffering for the soul. The soul is exactly like Krishna, Sakshidananda. Like Krishna. Krishna is always enjoying. We as Krishna should always enjoy ever-increasing bliss, ever-increasing ecstatic systems of love. But foolishly we have become entangled with this physical nature, this physical world. And that's the problem all over the world. People are thinking we are Chinese. Recently, I remember the Chinese people have sent in space a space station and sending a space station in space. Yeah, it's quite an achievement for the people of China. But we have been dogs before, but now we are bigger, important dogs. And it's like that everywhere. In Africa, in Russia, in Australia, in America, people identify with the body, which they are not. Devotees like Narada, they take compassion on us. And if we continue in our devotional service, if we continue in this process of Bhakti Yoga, then we will surely get the mercy of Narada Muni. There are 6 symptoms of surrender to Krishna. First is the devotee accepts everything favorable for executing devotional service. So that's called Yukta Vairagya, or renunciation in knowledge. One does everything for Krishna. And then the second symptom is that everything that cannot be used in Krishna's service, we reject. Just like some of us may have a former boyfriend or a former girlfriend. Yeah, if they are actually demons, then we have to reject, even if they are our parents. We have to become indifferent to them. Intelligently, we are not interested in anything they want to give us. And then, third point. And one has to feel that Krishna is one's protector. The devotee feels that Krishna will always protect them. Therefore, a devotee is fearless in all circumstances. On my own account, I cannot protect myself from anything. I cannot protect myself from a hurricane, from old age, disease, and death. So I was remembering this verse here from Srimad Bhagavatam, that beautiful verse where the lotus feet of Krishna are compared to a boat. And it is 10:14:58. Lord Brahma, he prays to Krishna after his bewilderment. Samasritaye padapalavaplavam mahat patam punyaya somurari pafam bhutir vatsapadam param padam padam yat vipadam natesham. For those who have accepted the abode of the lotus feet of the Lord, who is the shelter of the cosmic manifestation and is famous as Murari, the enemy of the Mura demon, the ocean of the material world, is like the water contained in a calf's hoofprint. Their goal is Param Padam, Vaikuntha, the place where there are no material miseries, not a place where there is danger at every step. So at every step, there is danger in this material world. The devotee takes shelter of Lord Krishna, and And Lord Krishna is called here Murari, that the enemy of the Mura demon. And because we take shelter of Krishna, there is no fear. The one who takes shelter of Krishna is Abhay Charan, fearless. And of course, we say that Srila Prabhupada was fearless. He was fearless in his preaching everywhere. That there is a letter of from Makanlal to Srila Prabhupada. That so Makanlal, yes, he wrote to Srila Prabhupada about the nuclear war. And what that if there is a nuclear war, what is going to happen to the Sankirtan movement? That Srila Prabhupada said, no, the Sankirtan movement is the order of the Supreme Lord. So the demons have no power to interfere. Quite a statement. So there is the fear that the demons have nuclear weapons and that they can blow up this planet. And there are movies that suggest that will happen. I remember many years ago, that's 20 years ago, that movie was popular at that time. Matrix. I heard from it, but I never saw it. But the suggestion is that machines and humans will destroy the world. But Srila Prabhupada said they do not have that power. If God does not sanction them, they can't even open their mouths. They can't even open their eyes. So the next symptom is that Krishna is our protector. And he will bless us with his mercy. A devotee always expects to get the mercy of Krishna. But Krishna is a maintainer, which is the next symptom. Krishna is a maintainer, even a little ant. Every living entity is given some food. Every day, the elephants in the jungle are getting their food. So everything is being done by an arrangement by Lord Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So he will also make arrangements for his devotees. Srila Prabhupada many times quoted this verse from the Vedas. Nityanam Setananam Ekya Bhaunam Yo Vididati Kamam. So the Supreme Lord is eternal among the eternals, the Supreme Conscious Being among all conscious beings. And he fulfills the desires of the many of all the living entities. So is one, Sridhar Swami said, is one Supreme Person and is paying the bill for everyone else. So is one who maintains everyone else. So the devotee feels that Krishna is a protector and Krishna is my maintainer. And so a devotee therefore feels fully dependent on Krishna. There is no separate interest. And the next symptom is then is that the devotee feels very surrendered and meek. If he comes to that point of feeling surrendered, feeling humble and meek, then it's a sign he's completely surrendered. Of course, that formula to attain it, this was given by Lord Chaitanya, Trinata Pisnitchna, Tarula Viv, Sanichana, Amana Manadana, Kirtanya Sudhari. Feel oneself more humble on a straw in the street, more tolerant on a tree, devoid of all prestige, be ready to give all honor to others. In that state of mind, one can chant holy names constantly. So he's always feeling himself very humble and he's surrendered. So in that condition, he attracts Krishna's mercy. And that mercy may come from a great devotee like Narada Muni. Narada is convinced, Narada Muni once convinced the Hasya Lasvas, 10,000 sons of Daksha. He convinced them that, well, Daksha sent them to a place close to the ocean, a river, to perform austerities, tapa, to prepare for household life. He followed the Vedic system. You must prepare, learn to control your senses and so on before entering household life. So they were doing that all together. And Narada Muni came there and he convinced them. He told them a story, a simple story. He said there is, in some country, there's a king and the king had one wife. And the wife constantly changes our dresses to attract the king. And then Narada Muni said, but there is a razor blades, razor blades which are turning at the end of a river which goes in two directions. But finally, everything is destroyed through this razor, turning razors. So when I read this story, I didn't understand anything, but Srila Prabhupada explained it in the purport. He said, yes, the king in a certain country, the soul, our kingdom is his body. And we are married with a wife. That's the mind. And the mind makes dresses. That's the thing. That's nice. That's not nice. And attracts us to sense gratification. That in different varieties, different dresses, different tastes, but it's all the same thing. We are converting vegetables into stool and blood. And we think that our enjoyment. But then in that country, you have this river going up and down. Up and down, we get sometimes happiness and distress. But at the end, there is a razor blade and everything is destroyed. It's all for nothing. So all this philosophers, they understood, yes. Oh, better to renounce this. It's useless. And they all agreed to take sannyas, 10,000. And that Daksha was unhappy. But then Daksha created 10 again after that, 1,000 sons, not 10,000. He was a little more careful. 1,000. That, yeah, that where the Sasyalas was. And he sent them to the same place to do austerities at the river. One could say Narada Muni could come again. Why does he take that risk? Because Daksha was a follower of Vedic principles. Now they have to prepare for Grasta life, perform austerity. But yeah, that risk was there. So Narada Muni appeared again before these 1,000 sons. He didn't tell them the whole story again. He said only one sentence. He says, an older brother, a younger brother should follow in the footsteps of the older brother. So that was the message. And they all understood. They also took sannyas. But then Daksha became furious, really furious. He became very angry. And he cursed Narada Muni. He said, I curse you that you will travel all over the world, all over the universe. You will never have any home, no place to stay. So this is the situation with Narada Muni. Actually, Narada accepted the curse of Daksha as a Vaishnava. He took it as the mercy of the Lord, and Srila Prabhupada also said he had been cursed by the parents of the boys and girls who were becoming his disciples. That, of course, we say on Vishnupad, Paramahamsa, Parivagacharya. Parivagacharya. Srila Prabhupada was Parivagacharya until the last moment of his life. That, and also many of his disciples. Yeah. My spiritual master, Bhakti Charamaj, yeah, said, yeah, interesting, we started an Ayurvedic clinic, Arogya Niketan in Ujjain, which is functioning very nicely still today. But in the beginning, it was founded by Bhakti Charamaj. But in the beginning, he did not believe in it. But then someone proposed to try it out and to follow a cure in South India. And the cure was 3 weeks. But Vaksharmaya 3 weeks, I cannot take out 3 weeks. 3 weeks, I'm doing 3 continents for preaching. But it took out 1 week, and the result was very good. And that was the initial phase of starting our Ayurvedic clinic, Arogya Niketan. That he was used to travel constantly, Parivachakacharya. And Prabhupada did it till the last moment of his life. And also my spiritual master did so at the last moment of his life. Prabhupada traveled everywhere. He had so many palaces. He traveled all over the world, but he could not stay in one place very long. So therefore he requested his sannyas disciples to take the curse from him so that he could translate his books while sitting in one place. And we experience that also. But traveling is not easy. If you're there, the human body doesn't take that traveling constantly. I saw my Guru Maharaj, everywhere I saw him, he was suffering from something. And that's because of the traveling. that we have to be balanced sometimes. That it's a heavy experience. But we experience it ourselves, traveling now constantly for so many years, practically. And very difficult. But yes, Narda Muni, that in Vrindavan, near to Govardhana, Kusum Sarovar. There's a place where the gopis were plucking flowers. Kusum Sarovar. And Narada Muni, there is a place there of Narada Muni close by. Narada Muni did there austerities to have the darshan of Radha Krishna. But then Vrinda Devi came to see him and said, you cannot have darshan of Radha Krishna in this body. Nobody can stay in Seva Kund. If you try to stay there, Seva Kund, where Radha and Krishna had this pastime, it is said in Vrindavan that you become mad, or the monkeys will beat you. So Vrinda Devi took Narada Muni to the southwestern side of Kushum Sarovar. And he took a bath there. And he became a gopi. And he got darshan of Radha and Krishna. And then after darshan, Vrinda Devi brought Narada Muni in his gopi form to the southeastern side of Kusum Sarovar bank. And he took a bath there and regained his form again as Narada Muni. So at that time, Narada Muni wrote Narada Bhakti Sutras. That's one of course, you have also those Narada's Bhakti Sutras, but Narada Muni wrote also, the Pancharatka, Narada Pancharatma. Of course, he got the Pancharatma from his father, Brahma, because that was how did Brahma get his Pancharatma. The story goes back that was in the beginning of creation. Brahma got the knowledge. Tene Brahma Hridaya Adikavye. He got the knowledge to the heart. Tene Brahma Hridaya Adikavye. But then there were these great demons. There were also demons at the beginning of creation. Madhu and the other. Anyway, they stole the Vedas from Brahma. They were so powerful that they could steal the contents of someone's mind. Special branch of thievery. Specialized thieves. It's Madhu and Kaitava. But then, so Brahma lost the Veda. But Tena Brahma Hridaya Adikavya, he get it to the heart, but it took a very long time. So he prayed to the Lord, can you please give me again? But give me first the essence, because it took very long. Because without that knowledge, I cannot create. And then the Lord gave him the knowledge in 5 nights. Should be Nights of Brahma. Still on, I think. And night of, for us at least. 5 nights. In 5 nights, he got the essence. Pancharatna. Pancha is 5, Ratna, night. And later he gave this knowledge of this Pancharatma. Because Pancharatma means how to perform devotion service. It's mainly all the knowledge behind the behavior that one must have, the lifestyle to perform deity worship, and how to perform deity worship, how to worship the Lord. That's the Pancharatma. But then Narada, he put it in his own way and became the same knowledge. It became Narada Pancharatma. It became known as such because he had distributed it. Not, so yes, then this is the life of Narada Muni, is described here at the end of the 6th chapter, in which Narada Muni has described his entire life. That is a life story as a demonstration of the power of bhakti, the lifestyle in which he was in some lives back. He was Upabharana, a Gandharva, and he became cursed by sages because he was a ruler. He was an enjoyer. He was a pop star. He was a very well-known singer. Gandharvas are beautiful singers, but he was singing songs praising the demigods and so-called love that Srila Prabhupada said cinema songs. And one day he was invited to a Sankirtan festival, and there were many sages. Sankirtan is meant to glorify the Supreme Lord. And he started to sing these cinema songs. Therefore, the sages cursed him to become a Sudhan. But then in his next life, we heard the entire story. He developed love for Krishna. He went through the process, beginning with his association of these Bhaktivedantas. Beautiful story. That so he became the great Narada Muni, who is always chanting the glories of the Supreme Lord. Yeah. Narada Muni Bhajna Bhima Radhika Ramanana. We have that beautiful song that glorifying the activities of Narada Muni. So any question or comment, please? Good. There are no comments. And I'm looking forward to see you next week. Same time. Thank you very much. Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Srila Prabhupada ki.